Secretary, one of the first things we noticed as we began to pore over the court documents that we've applied for, that we secured, and additional documentation, including the very original KPMG report on this matter, is that there was initially a lot of confusion about how much exactly was involved here. And once I go to that, you understand why the Attorney General has arrived at where he has arrived at now, with a significantly reduced amount. The first big figure that we saw was 4.97 billion. And this was a figure that was pegged by at the time, the administrator who had been appointed May 31st, 2018, right? And remember, the administrator then transitioned to become the receiver. So same person, right, doing the job. And the first thing they did, the KPMG identified 4.97 billion. And then they did some further work. And the 4.97 billion quickly then became, and this, by the way, was 31st May 2018. That amount then quickly becomes 5.7 billion. That is the amount that you've heard a lot about. But that is not where it started. It started with 4.97 billion, and then came to 5.7 billion. Now, we're asking ourselves, so what really was happening at the time? This was all happening in 2018. What really was happening while we had these changing numbers? And then we discovered, just pulling back again from the archives, that document from KPMG, the reason why. Because we saw very, very quickly from the KPMG's own administrator at the time, Niyamano Dodu, admitting something very fundamental. He says, we have not sought to verify information or perform procedures necessary to express an audit opinion on any financial or non-financial information contained in this report. So they haven't done any verification at the time. And it took quite a while for them to sort of come to terms with what really was happening at the time. In fact, it took years. And I'll illustrate pretty shortly. From 2018, only 2024, last year, before he came to a settled figure, or what appears to be a settled figure. Just pause for a second. 2018, 2024. We'll come to that 2024 figure pretty shortly. But he admits in that very original first KPMG report that really formed the basis of the revocation and all that, a fundamental caveat, which is that they haven't sought to verify information or perform procedures necessary to express an audit opinion on financial or non-financial information contained in this report. And then it didn't stop there. It makes another disclaimer, again, trying to get you to understand why he can't be certain about any figure. It says, accordingly, we are unable to determine the extent to which information provided, of course, to them, are complete and accurate, and the report should be read in that context. And that is very important. The question that you need to ask yourself is, did the decision makers at the time, the finance ministers, read this document and take the actions within this context that a lot was not verified? We'll come to